This is the first electric car Ferrari ever made, called Ferrari Luce, but it does not even look like a Ferrari. The Ferrari Luce is Ferrari's first fully electric production vehicle. It marks Ferrari's entry into the high-performance EV segment and is designed as a 4-door, 5-seat Grand Tourer rather than a traditional 2-seater supercar. Ferrari described it as the beginning of a new chapter for the company. Oof. If this is what the future of the company looks like, I don't think many people would be happy about it. Luce means light in Italian. Before receiving its official name, the project was known internally and publicly as Electrica. The best thing about this car is that the production has already started and people will start receiving it from late 2026. The car will be priced at $640,000. $640K for an EV. I guess that's the world we live in now. I know Ferrari is not the best budget to performance car or whatever, but $640K is a big number. And it's not just me. The day the car got announced, its stock prices plummeted, which made Ferrari lose over 3 billion euros in market value. Ouch. But to be fair, the design is not really done by the company. They handed it over to Loveform. Yeah, that's the name of a company. And they handled making the car the way it looks. It's headed by former Apple Chief Design Officer Jonathan Ive. Ferrari described it as unconventional, multidisciplinary perspective, which for normal people it's called sh**. I'm sorry, I've been pretty mean to its design because I've always loved how Ferraris look and this design just pisses me off so much. There are many people who do love the design. Also, Ferrari didn't make it for enthusiasts or collectors. They knew people won't simply transition from their V12s or V8s to an EV. That's why Luce is not like any of its predecessors. It's a 4-door, 5-seater car. Who would have thought that a Ferrari can have more than 2 doors? Impossible, right? The marketing for the Luce is geared towards very rich people who are also tech enthusiasts. That's the demography they are aiming at. That's why they hired people who formerly worked with Apple for the design. Luce is longer and wider than the Q5, with center opening doors, a rear liftgate, a forward set cabin, and lighting elements integrated into the dark body panel. The rear wheel measures to a whopping 24 inches in diameter, the front wheels 23 inches. It achieves the lowest drag coefficient in Ferrari history, accomplished through aerostyling convergence, active air shutters, and ride height logic that lowers the front by 10mm even while cruising. On the inside, Loveform completely reimagined the interior. The 3-spoke steering wheel is made of recycled aluminum and contains 19 separate CNC machined parts. The cabin combines OLED digital displays with physical controls. The steering wheel uses conventional switches instead of the touchpad fitted to some previous Ferrari models, and includes 2 Manettino controls, one for vehicle dynamics and one for electric powertrain. Pedals on the steering wheel controls regenerative braking and torque delivery. Another win for Ferrari in my opinion. Call me Unk, but I do like buttons rather than going through millions of screens just to change the temperature. Now let's talk performance. The Luce uses 4 permanent magnet electric motors, one for each wheel, with a combined output of 1035 horsepower or 773 kilowatts. It can go from 0 to 100 km per hour in just 2.5 seconds with a top speed of 310 km per hour and a range of 530 km. Ferrari says both front motors can disconnect for efficiency during cruising, turning the car effectively into a rear-wheel drive when the system wants to save energy. The front motors can spin to 30,000 RPM and the car uses an 800-volt architecture with a 122 kWh pack. The specs, if you ask me, are pretty impressive. Given the price, I sure would hope so, because if it was just a Tesla knockoff, no one would buy this one. The different drive modes that the Luce has are Ice, Wet, Dry, Sport, and ESC off with no dedicated race mode. There is also adaptive traction control called e-track that expands the car's dynamic freedom. The steering wheel carries a strong Ferrari identity with physical controls and pedals for regenerative and torque management. They went with the road of having the driver handle the car instead of having a hero mode where the car decides everything. Pretty rare for an EV. The battery can absorb up to half a megawatt of power, enabling sports car performance without thermal compromise lap after lap. Ferrari engineered advanced cell chemistry and evolved thermal management to ensure long life cycle, high energy density, and consistent performance under prolonged stress. Ferrari's incredible side-slip control system is part of a much wider chassis control network. Regenerative braking is a key part for this. Their 3rd-generation active suspension was evolved to deliver both sports car comfort and handling precision. They have also committed to a Ferrari is Forever program for the Luce, which is a long-term factory-backed support for high-voltage components including the batteries and electric power systems, with updates and lifecycle assistance to ensure durability and preserve performance over time. If you ask me, Ferrari were too ambitious with this one, giving away the design to someone who never designed a car before, and their main accomplishments were with Apple. That just does not make sense. The car does not look anything like a Ferrari. I mean, making an EV is not the main problem here. The reason why people are really mad is because the EV looks like a freaking Apple mouse. That's it for the Ferrari Luce. What do you think about this one? Do you like the new design? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this faster style coverage, let me know in the comments too. Hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed. YouTube thinks you might like this video popping up on your screen right now. I'm sure you will like it as well. See you in the next one.